All right, here's another edition of Word for Word Bible Comic. This is an ongoing series that's fairly new. I recently looked at Luke, and now this is the Gospel of Matthew. And yeah, as you can see, once again, they have the NIV logo at the bottom here to show what translation is. This one, yeah, fairly thick as well, just as thick as the Gospel of Luke, so that's pretty good. Matthew, I think, was one of those Gospels that definitely had a lot to say as well. They even show how it appears on the comic, so they give like an example panel of what you can expect in terms of text, description, the artwork, and the colors. They also mention here the treatment of the text. All the words from the translation are used, and that is their biggest selling point. Where the pictorial format makes some words redundant, these are featured in the gutter spaces between the panels. So that's interesting. They really give a bit of a backdrop here. Yeah, again, they start off with the title page and a quote from Jeremiah. "The days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will fulfill the good promise I made to the people of Israel and Judah. In those days and at that time, I will make a righteous branch sprout from David's line. He will do what is just and right in the land." And clearly they're mentioning Jesus. Just like the book of Luke, they again do a large panel here where they do a little bit of the lineage again of who the fathers were. Again, they start off with a colorful map, and this is told from the perspective of Matthew. Joseph is being warned that Mary's going to conceive a child. Yeah, here we go. We have the scene of King Herod, and he's clearly not too happy that there's going to be this future king, and he's worried that his throne will be taken over. So tries to order all the, I think, under 2 years of age, which was pretty ruthless when you think about it. And it looks like they don't waste any time here. Jesus is already born. And yeah, there we go. This is 2 years old and under. Kill all the boys in Bethlehem and its vicinity. So it'd be interesting to see if they have any gory details, or we just have a scene here where mothers are fleeing with their children, and no, in that case they don't show any gore or violence. So yeah, that would be pretty disturbing, seeing babies completely massacred or dismembered. It would be interesting to read all these Gospels, and I think this is where you would have some fun comparing the four Gospel writers, because they all have different perspectives and their testimonies are similar but different, and I think there could be some fun with this. This could be the same panel from Luke. That could be a reused panel. I think it is. So, I mean, I guess it saves time, but it would have been nice to see a completely different panel. I don't know. Now, this is definitely more chronicling Jesus' life, and oh gee, this is a literal version of, not to focus on the speck in someone's eye, but focus on the plank in your own eye. Wow, I've never seen a literal vision of that before. So we'll just quickly skim to the back again and just see if there's anything different or if they've kind of kept the same format. Okay, so we have a bit of an idea of the kind of violence, Jesus being whipped. Yeah, they don't shy away from the cuts and the blood, and why would you? That's what it actually was. Yeah, here we go. That is very interesting. But yeah, I love how they portrayed Jesus. I think that's what I loved about its accuracy, even the backgrounds, and I've even seen the landscapes. I think that's what I'm appreciating about this Bible series, that they're really not only focusing on accuracy, but they're taking the time to represent the clothing and the traditions and the artifacts as close as possible. But now let's get to the end. Yeah, so a very similar format. I think this is how they're going to go for all these Bibles. Who is Matthew? He was a tax collector. This is another cool part of this series is, yeah, the context that they share at the back. I think that goes a long way. It's a nice addition. You can become a patron. They clearly got Patreon going. They did a good job with their Kickstarter. It was fully funded. Yeah, here's a focus on Joseph, which I would like to read that, because I always found it weird that Joseph was a character not really talked about much. It was more Mary, and I'm not saying he needed the spotlight, but if that was the human father of Jesus, it was just interesting. We never find out what happened to him or where he ended up. I always found that a bit of a mystery. Yeah, they're just kind of showing the pictures and artifacts of what they tried to replicate. They talk about the temple and what is the gospel. Again, this was, well, for this one it was 20 American and 25 Canadian. Not much of a price difference, and this was the Gospel of Matthew. So really enjoying this, and I think if you were to pick this up, I think you would appreciate it as well.